Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking into Profits, where we bring together experts in their niche and have a conversation on a topic that I know both me and you are interested in learning more about. This is your chance to show up, get your questions answered by both the expert, myself, and join the freaking conversation. We do love it when you join in. So drop your thoughts, your opinions, your questions. And I have got, oops, sorry. Hold on, guys. There we go. Forgot to hit the mute. The disadvantages sometimes to live is what you forget to do. All right. Sorry about that. But be aware, we do have a bit of a lag before we see any comments or questions. If you guys are hearing us, go ahead and drop in the comments where you're joining us from today and that you can hear us okay. And we will make sure to answer anything because you are part of our conversation as well. And today I'm so excited. I was just talking to Lisa May when we were getting on, just realizing we have been connected. It's actually our first time getting on camera together, but we have been talking in the comments over on Facebook for probably at least 3 years, if not longer. Right?
I think it's been longer than that, Heidi. But
It probably has been. Okay, Stella says they can hear us. Good, go ahead. Thanks, Stella. But welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm thrilled and excited. We're finally getting to actually talk, and that you're here to have a conversation and just share experiences with our guest and even me. I mean, there's things that I want to know too. But Lisa May, everyone, she is an accredited six-figure copywriter. She's a consultant now. She's been helping high-level online coaches get clients and reach 7 and 8-figure status for over 17 years now before Instagram. I mean, not that we're wanting to date us, but that I think is cool though. I mean, freaking cool. I mean, before Instagram. Before that, she spent 2 decades in corporate marketing. Again, manages 7 and 8-figure marketing budgets. Do you think this woman knows how to get you into 7 and 8 figures? I have a feeling the answer is yes. And what really got us bonded is both of us have moved to other countries. She is living in Costa Rica now, and they moved there a little over 2.5 years ago. I remember the whole big move and the excitement because I was dropping her tips too because I had already done it before that. Is Costa Rican coffee one of your favorites now?
it is, yes, absolutely.
My husband loves it too. I'm not a coffee drinker, but you guys can have all of it. I know I'm tea. I'm one of those weirdos. Me and UK people get along quite well. But tell us a little more about you.
Yeah, I was just sharing with you, of course, before we went live. Let me know, by the way, if my earbuds cut out at any point. There might be some issues there, but how we just had some trees removed. Our landlord, because where we are, we're renting, and we now have the most spectacular view of the San Jose Valley here in Costa Rica. And but the disadvantage is now there's blaring sun on the deck. And so otherwise I would have been working outside and taking the call from the deck. So I could make you all envious with the backdrop, the mountains and the coffee plantations in the background. So now you're looking at my headboard. So it is what it is.
Next time we'll get to see you're going to need an umbrella now so that we can still see that gorgeous backdrop.
That's right. But yeah. I mean, we moved here 3 weeks in May, which is crazy. So to show how fast time does go, and you and I have known each other a long time, just in the space. We've kind of hung out in circles, and I mean, for me, yeah, it was 2007 is when I kicked off my entrepreneurial journey. It was the second last time I was ever downsized, right-sized, laid off, restructured, fired, whatever term you would want to use, the corporatese, whatever is the corporately correct term these days. That was the second last time that I was laid off from work. and decided it's like, hey, this is a sign, because I was, I am clearly unemployable, and especially now, there is no turning back at this point. And so it was like, okay, let's see what we can do with this copywriting thing, because I'd been studying it for quite a while. So I cut my teeth in direct response copy. And back in the day, it was hardcore internet marketing, right? The yellow highlighter, the big blobs of text, the big pages. But I learned from some of the best. I studied under Clayton Makepeace. I studied with Stephen Slonwhite. I even actually did some work for Steve Slonwhite. I was a ghostwriter for him for a bit, and some of the other early days internet copywriters like Nick Usborne, right? He's kind of the godfather of online marketing, and Daniel Lewis. So, which incidentally is practically one of my neighbors back in Canada. He was from a little small town just outside the city where I live. So, and I used to run into him at Costco of all places. But um, so, that's how I got my start. And I just gradually, um, it was just a migration. I don't even know really how I got into the coaching space at all, other than I did take a coaching course at some point, right? I was part of a group program on really building the business, because I struggled for a long time with getting clients, with putting myself out there. And of course, back in the day, Facebook was new. Twitter was the big thing, and it was new too, but nobody was really understanding how to start leveraging social media and in a way that could actually get us clients. So there was still a lot of, do the funnels and email marketing, and at one point for prospecting, you were picking up the phone,
You're
right?
right.
Or buying lists of, or looking it up, right? There were different ways that you could actually look up potential leads, but then you'd really have to mine those lists and see what you could uncover on them. LinkedIn wasn't, it was kind of in its infancy as well. So, but that became a really useful tool um, at one point. And then it was, it just started to gather steam from there. But it was a real struggle for me early on to put myself out there and,
Mhm.
really understand how to get clients and really reach out and connect with people. And
Right.
up until a few years ago, I avoided DMs. I would chat with people, no problem, right? I would, talk to people that I kind of knew and had an established relationship with, but I would never think of actually reaching out to someone and saying, hey, thanks for the follow, or thanks for
Yeah.
the comment on my posts or something, right? It's like, nobody wants to talk to me. What am I thinking?
Yeah, and I mean, so many people today still struggle with that.
Mhm.
Everybody who's here, we've got Stella Scott here saying hi. Ben Strickland hearing us loud and clear. We got Willie Nichols here. If you don't know Willie, too, get me connected to all these people, but still they're great. Willie was on my first guest. He was the first guest for 2025 this year. He's the cop turned life coach. 30 years as a
Oh,
cop and then turned life coach. He'll even tell you he did not believe in all that hooey, and look at the guy now, 7 years in.
nice.
We got Elaine here from the Algarve, Portugal. Welcome, Elaine. I'm an hour north of Lisbon. Uh, Stella, good cup of tea right up my alley. All right, Stella, me and you're going to have tea. Yeah. David's here. Navin's here. But guys, let us know in the comments. How many of you are still struggling to really put yourself out there and get clients online? And that you're finding that a little bit hard, because that's part of what I got Lisa here for today is I mean, Lisa May is the OG when it comes to. She is. I know she's like that, but when you see her drop advice on Facebook, as much as even I know, this woman is who I want to learn from for myself as well. Because yeah, I mean, you drop advice, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, mm-hmm, yep, I'm listening. I'm so listening. You just spoke to me in my soul. And by the way, everyone, if you aren't already connected to Lisa May, she's not as much on LinkedIn, you're Facebook. And we will
Yeah,
make sure.
I'm trying to back on LinkedIn and kind of revive presence as well, but so it's still Facebook, Instagram are kind of my main right at the moment. But yeah.
We're going to convince her to come back to the dark side of LinkedIn, guys. I'm going to work on it. So we get her back over here too. But I'll drop her Facebook connections into the comments too, because you guys really want to be connected with her. She just dropped some amazing stuff that really, really is. It's important to know. And if you really want to get in the 7 and 8 figure range, I know I do, then there's a lot of advice that she's dropping, even to get you in if 5 and 6 range that will work for you. So don't think you've already got to be up there to not put this advice into action. You can. So, and by the way, if we aren't connected yet, don't forget to connect with me, hit follow, ring my bell so you don't miss any of these events or the tips me or our experts drop. And we've already started talking about it, but let's just dive in a little bit. I want to know from you guys, let me know in the comments if any of you hold back on posting something about your offers or speaking up to tell someone about it when you know that you can help them because you're afraid of being seen as too pushy or too salesy. Let us know in the comments. Are any of you having that happen? And we do have a couple of questions before we dive in, Lisa, to our answers to your
Sure.
question earlier. Elaine said, yes, it's hard online. Personal referral is best, though, of course. It's a good line. What do you think about that one, Lisa?
Yes. Oh. I mean, that kind of a very consistent generating
Ooh,
clients. Sure.
hold on, Lisa.
You know.
Hold on, Lisa May. Something's going on with your sound there. We were getting you in a
Okay.
like a echo, echo, echo.
See. Better.
Now we don't hear you at all.
Yeah. How about that?
All right, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it
Okay.
goes.
So, yeah, I mean, word of mouth and referrals are definitely a great way to get clients. I usually suggest that people use them kind of as a supplement, right? Um, or as a complement to the existing lead gen and marketing activities that you do daily, rather than relying on just them, because those are hit and
Yes.
miss. They're not predictable. They're not reliable, right? So
Yes.
it makes them much, still a valuable complement to what you're already doing. But I prefer to have a much more reliable and predictable method of filling my pipeline.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I am so grateful for referrals, but I do not count on them as a solid marketing line myself either.
Right.
So definitely good, but I know so many people who still rely 100% on referrals in their business. And I know, Lisa May, you've seen this as well. And they do dry up. And those people didn't invest in a solid marketing strategy to go with it. And so it's really good to have, but Navin says, indeed, it's a new challenge to get work. So far, work's been given to us even early in freelancer career. It was easy. The market is tougher and AI is not making it any easier.
Mm,
So the getting work part makes me feel completely alien.
that's a good one. And what do you do, Nevin?
See, I don't remember, and I know I'm connected to you, Navin, but I don't remember what you do. Drop in your comments what it is. We'll come back to you on that one.
Yeah,
Stella,
absolutely.
yeah, Stella says, before COVID, I had clients through LinkedIn. Now it's harder. Yes,
Hmm.
I post frequently, do lives, sends, and I'm a LinkedIn person all the way. Yes, Stella, you know I'm a LinkedIn person too. We're gonna bring Lisa May over too. We're gonna have to. She's like dragging me over. Okay, Nevin says freelance SEO strategist.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, this is something that I'm hearing in not just the freelance space and service provider space, but also with coaching. People, what worked a year ago, even to get work and start to bring people into our pipelines isn't working as effectively. And this is because throughout the previous 3 and 4 and 5 years, people all bought into the promises of the easy money, to make money while you sleep, earn in your pajamas. And people were actually snapping these things up, right? Because all of a sudden, oof, the world came online, right? The coaching industry alone I think it was 2020 grew by over 30%, and it's still expected to surpass that in the coming years, right? So there's definitely still tons of opportunity. It's just being able to pivot what we used to do and start to kind of adapt to the current marketplace, right? Because now the people that we want to work with they bought into the big promises of the good marketers, not necessarily good coaches, right? Which is unfortunate, because now it's created a big trust deficit in the marketplace. So yeah, as business owners, that means we have to do a better job of not just servicing our people, but really being able to earn trust with people, with complete strangers. It still doesn't take as long as, to build your know, like, and trust, because guess what? That's actually a big fat lie that people have bought into for years. And I'm still talking to people every day saying, oh, well, I don't post my offers because I don't want my content to say buy my stuff, because I want my content to build my know, like, and trust. The truth is, people buy from people they don't know or like all the time, right? $17 offers, $1,000 offers, whatever. You come across somebody on the internet. This is why ads are so successful. For one thing, right? All of a sudden, boom, you see an ad. Hey, this is the thing. This looks interesting. This is something I want. Do you know that person? Probably not. Do you like them? I don't know. I haven't been in their space for more than 30 seconds. But people still go through and buy, right? An offer is made, a transaction results, whether it's something free, whether it's something paid. So thinking it takes a long time to build know, like, and trust is a myth. The trust piece is the key, though. So and creating trust in the marketplace looks a lot different than just sharing testimonials. Right now, it's about playing the bigger game and showing up as a leader in the marketplace, right? Sharing content that isn't technically great, right? I hid behind writing perfect content. I had everything. I had the frameworks, the formulas, everything was, people should be snapping this stuff up. And they didn't. Now that once I shifted that and started sharing insights versus value, right? Education, the tips and tricks, which premium buyers don't want. My post started to get much more engagement. Now, the momentum starts, the snowball starts to build because people are seeing what you're sharing, and it's different. It's not the highly structured and technically correct copy that they're used to seeing that everybody else is using. Right now, people are paying attention because they crave leadership in the market. And so once they start to see this and you're showing up differently as a leader, this starts to automatically elevate you as an authority, and people trust authorities.
Yep.
So building trust is far more important than the know and like factor, right? You still, still share with people, right? Share snippets of your life, not the whole thing, right? We want the highlight reel to show people that you are still a human. But, building trust is kind of job number one right now. And so your content, right? Showing up from a leadership standpoint and authority. And there's different ways of doing that. And it's not teachy content, because there's a lot of preaching at
Out
people,
there.
right? Yeah, we're going to go there.
We don't need to go there, but and here's one I'll just throw in real quick on that on the teaching stuff. I've already got. Here's how I look at it. If you can Google it or ask AI, you don't need to be putting that out there.
That's the thing, yeah. And premium buyers, and when I say premium buyers, I'm talking like high level clients, the ones that are already in action. They already know. They've done the research. They know, they're problem aware. They are solution aware. They're just looking for your solution, right? They don't know about your solution yet. So these people are already in motion. They don't want the educational teachy tips and tricks content, right? That's low level marketing, and that's where 90% of the marketplace or more is focused right now. This has been one of my big battles with really leveraging Instagram and coming back to that in a big way, because I feel so much of it is like down here. I want to speak to the high intent buyers, the movers and the shakers, the ones that are ready to invest and solve their problem, right? Because when we're not speaking to them, when we're not showing up in from that position of leadership and authority, and really speaking their language and sharing stuff that is going to be valuable to them, such as shifting perspectives, sharing social proof, right? Client testimonials, your own personal wins, how your system has helped you, and so on and so, like, there's so many different ways to showcase this. That's when they pay attention. Those are the people that we want in our space, right? They're not the tire kickers. They're not the freebie hunters. They're not the ones that are going to waste your time for an hour or 90 minutes on a call and then not ever buy from you.
Exactly. And that's what we're looking to buy. Get in the door. I mean, we're past the point of wanting to focus. And don't get me wrong, I definitely have a pipeline set up that continues to pull those people in that aren't ready
Mhm.
right this minute. And of course,
Right.
that's kind of where that comes along. But I'm looking for the people 3 to 5% that are ready now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, 85% of your current circle aren't ever going to buy from you. So you've got that 15% that will buy at some point,
Mm-hmm.
right? So then it's nurturing that 15% in a way that, like you said, will, targets the ones that are ready to buy now. And then you keep going with the others that may buy in 3 months or, down the road a little bit further.
And not
And
only
I
that,
think
I was going to say, not only that, nurturing even the ones that are ready now to be a repeat client later, which I think a lot of people
exactly,
really miss because I know 60% of my clients come from repeat. And because I did build that relationship with them and take the time instead of the one time delivery.
exactly.
Yeah. So how do we get in? I mean, we're already talking about some, but how do we really get inside our actual buyers' heads, not the tire kickers? How do we eliminate tire kickers and be speaking to our people that are ready to go now or ready to go in a couple of months?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about in the precision with your messaging and really being able to clearly and specifically articulate the current problem that they're dealing with. I have a real beef with the coaches that teach, don't do pain point marketing. Only do the desire based and identity based. And here's the problem with that. You are attracting the tire kickers with that, because now you're only talking about a desired result, and it's a one-sided conversation. You're not actually showcasing the fact that you understand the person who is dealing with a very specific problem and looking to have that solved. So when you're able to precisely articulate both sides of that, that's when the people with that problem pay attention. And now you're able to clearly showcase, it's like, oh, okay, so this is why I have this problem here. This is how she solves it. And now, okay, let's talk this to this person more, or let's see what else they have to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. It's like I remind, because people are like, well, I don't want to keep doing the pain points. I'm like, well, it's not like you got to stick the knife in and just keep
Right.
jabbing, but you
Right.
do got to let people know that not only do you understand the problem, you know how to solve it.
Yeah.
Because if you can't communicate to that, everybody can say, oh, I can make your dreams and goals better, but what does that mean? Do you truly understand how to get somebody there? And I'm guilty of that. I mean, I look at some of my old copy. I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't telling them anything. I was surprised they bought from me.
I think, well, that's the thing. I think we've all been there, right? And we've all done that. It's all, the fluffy woo woo, whatever, when we're but when we're talking about things like, you know, get more confidence, balance your hormones. Well, the thing is, people aren't walking around saying that, right?
Mm-mm.
No one is walking around saying, I really need to balance my hormones, or
No,
I
they're
want
saying
to
like
balance my
me. I
hormones.
want to be able to sleep better because
Right.
perimenopause here. My hormones are freaking out of balance, and I don't sleep well. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's not just about being precise with the pain points, but really being able to paint the picture for your person of showcasing to them that you understand what they're going through, what it looks like in their life currently, and how you can help them change it, right? And what happens when they change it.
So tell us, because I already know. And guys, make sure you drop in your thoughts and questions in the comments on this. But I already know the one thing because I hear this from my clients all the time. Of course, I know my answer to this, but they want to know, how do you talk to those pain points without you feeling like you're selling your soul to the devil, but also that you may maintain your authenticity of not wanting to hurt your client.
Yeah, absolutely. The way I look at it is, when I talk about the pain points, right, we're listing symptoms, right? Think of it, if you go to the doctor and you are trying to, I mean, the doctor issues a diagnosis, right? You go to him for a reason. So he's going to ask you a list of questions. You're going to tell him, right? So this is how we need to approach it in our messaging as well. When we start to really dig deeper into the messaging beyond the surface level stuff, right? We are being detectives. We are being the doctor so that we can help them diagnose and issue the painkiller, right? Because if you are, now this is leading into one of my favorite topics, of course, as you know. Um,
I do, and this is one of the reasons I invited you here.
so, I mean, if you run out of vitamin C on a Wednesday and you can't get to Costco or wherever you buy your vitamin C until the weekend, it's not a big deal, right? You're okay for a few days. But if you wake up at 2 a.m. Wednesday morning and you have a migraine that's coming on like a freight train, you want to know, you want to know damn sure that you've got the painkiller you need you've got that extra strength Motrin or Excedrin or whatever the heck it is, Tylenol with codeine, in your medicine cabinet. This is what your person is looking for, someone who can resolve that pain. Because when you are at the point where you are able to articulate it in a way that really helps them see that you understand what they're dealing with, then you're not, just stabbing the knife for the sake of stabbing the knife. You're here saying, hey, I know what you're going through. I understand the pain and the problem that you're dealing with. Your website isn't getting seen. You've got, all the young influencers are kicking the crap out of your fitness business because they're all dancing on reels, right? Despite the fact you have been investing thousands, right? When you're able to articulate these little nuances in the messaging, this is when people go, oh, hey, this person gets me. This is what I need, right? Because now you become the painkiller. You're
Mm-hmm.
not just another vitamin. You're not just a coach in a sea of thousands or millions of other options. You become the one for them.
Yeah. And one way I help my clients understand it too is I'm like, okay, just imagine you're sitting down at the table and your friend had a problem, came in, was talking to you about it.
Yes.
How would you talk to them? I was like, that's exactly how you help your clients solve the problem. If you understand it and you get it, start thinking about that when you're creating your content. And it's pretty much the same because how you're going to tell your friend, because you're going to, everybody gets so uncomfortable with this and talking about it. Well, yes, I know how to solve your problem. This is how I know, because then they're immediately like, oh my God, I'm selling. But you wouldn't withhold that painkiller from your friend who was telling you they're dying over here with the headache. We'll just keep with
Mm-hmm.
that. You would instead, hey, can I get you what I've got? And so why not do that with your clients? Let go of this idea of,
Exactly.
I mean, just like you and I, I know we've had so many conversations about this. Let it go, people. Help your people.
Yeah, and remember, this isn't about you. Like whatever weird hangups are lurking and preventing you from doing that, let it go because this isn't about you. Because you are, um, really doing your people a disservice by not offering this to them.
Yes.
If you have something that you know is going to help them, like those SEO services, then make the offers, get them out there.
Absolutely.
I look at on average 30 or more profiles a day, and I'm going to say 99.9% of them don't have any offer posts. I can scroll, like just scroll, and there won't be a single offer post. And a great many of those aren't even sharing business posts. They're like everybody else's inspirational stuff. There's no thought leadership at all, or business leadership of any kind at all. So just, really thinking about elevating your game in a way so that your person sees you and goes, that's the person that's going to help me, right?
Yeah.
It's not about you, it's about them.
Well, I want to ask you this because I've switched my own strategy. I mean, 2 years ago, because clients are always wanting to know how often do I put out my sales offer, versus the other types of content. And 2 years ago, I was saying 80-20%. Today, my clients really get, because they immediately back away, because now I've switched that 80% is you're sharing something about your offer 80% of the time now. For you, what does that look like?
um, I say sell every day, make an offer every day. It doesn't have to be on social, right? But
Yes. Yeah.
somewhere, even if it's on the back end, you should be making offers every day.
Hmm. I agree.
And nobody's, first of all, social media right now, Facebook is, what did I see the statistic? It's roughly 1% of your audience, I think it is, that is seeing your
Yeah, it's
post.
not much now.
So don't get too bent out of shape about posting offers too often because most people aren't seeing them.
Yeah, it's only about 1% of your people might see your stuff, and even if they did, it's not necessarily the post you put out that day. It could be from a week
Right.
ago.
Yeah. Or in random cases months ago, it's like some weird algorithm update, and all of a sudden it's like, why am I seeing Christmas posts?
I know, I've seen that recently too. Let's see. Devin says, I'm curious about how to get to know them better from the point of view of their pain points.
Ah, well, there's some different ways to do this. And like interviewing the clients that you're working with is a huge one right there. You've got a captive audience.
Hmm.
So just walk them through it. And even past clients, just say, hey, I'm doing some market research. Can I talk to you for, 15 minutes and, give them something, give them a quick SEO audit in exchange or something like that, right? Um, and just ask them right out. It's like, hey, why is this important to you? What is the thing that you're struggling with, right? What were the things that you tried in the past? So think about it. Um, if you don't have someone to interview, right? Because sometimes people aren't too quick to jump on a call. You could think about it in terms of, what have they been trying? What have they been investing in? Where have they been burned? Right? What are the things that have worked for them? What are the things that haven't worked for them? What are their top frustrations in the marketplace? Right? So for SEO, it could be simply that their social media stuff gets higher rankings on SEO than their website, right? Or because they want their blog post to be seen or something, right? I'm just throwing it out there, right? I have a rudimentary understanding of SEO because I used to do a little bit of that as well. But, really think about it from the standpoint of what are they struggling with right now? What does the marketplace look like? And think about it also, who do you want to attract? Who do you want to work with? Because quite often I see a lot of people, and I used to do this too, we try to sell out offers that we've outgrown to audiences that we've also outgrown, that we no longer want to work with.
Exactly.
So for SEO, there's going to be a certain type of entrepreneur or a certain type of business owner that wants that, right? So they're going to be problem aware. They're going to be at a certain stage in business, right? Because I think most people are educated enough now, I could be wrong, where they know you don't just slap a website up and it automatically magically shows up on Google.
I think there's still people that believe that, but there's a lot of people
Probably.
still believe in the get rich quick scheme things too.
Yes,
So
yes, that's true. That's true. But
that's the unfortunate part. But you're right. I mean, and that's my answer too as well, Nevin, is market research is your friend. Get on the phone, DM, Zoom, email, surveys, DM, whatever it takes, and talk to your people. That's how you learn what their pain points
talk
are.
to your people and leverage AI. ChatGPT does a good job. There's a new favorite that I have, which is Claude AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I just the answers, even though it's powered by ChatGPT, the answers it returns are much more robust. So yeah, AI is your friend here, especially for some of the nuanced stuff that maybe you don't know how to ask or pull out of people, or that they don't just share, right? So leverage that where you can as well. And just remember, what you feed into it, the more robust your prompt is, then the more robust your answer is going to be, and the more valuable it's going to be.
Yeah, and my favorite AI, and Lisa May, I don't know if you've tried this yet, is Perplexity, because the
Perplexity is
research
awesome for
level,
market
and
research.
I have it permanently set on Claude. I do, because it's my favorite as well. But Perplexity for research is the AI tool, guys. It really is,
Mhm.
because it returns the sources and everything with it too. And yes, when I start there with all my research, and I also use it to craft the market research questions that I actually want to ask my potential clients, because I start there. That way I'm not wasting their time, and I'm actually getting more of what I'm the good juicy details.
That's right. And you can also have it, feed whatever you get back from Perplexity. You can feed that into Chat or Claude and have it bring back. It's like, create 30 viral posts for me, market research posts or whatever that you can ask in other groups or on your own profile. If you have a decent audience, or leverage other people's audiences, right? Start posting these questions, and now you're starting to get some market research in.
Yeah. And then that's really going to help you formulate your content. That's going to help you talk to your people better. That's going to help you become that painkiller.
Yeah.
I love that. That was the whole reason. That was the main reason I had you. Well, it wasn't the only one, but the main reason I had you come on.
Yeah.
I saw her post. She was talking about be the painkiller, and I was just like, okay, we've been talking about this for a while. It's time. So, everyone, we are heading towards the end of our show. So, if you've got any more questions you want, get those in there. We're going to continue talking and keep you updated. And by the way, this show is cast live each week to both here on LinkedIn, where you can join us. It's also over on YouTube if you guys are not on LinkedIn or you just like YouTube better. And if you cannot make it live, then we do recommend you watch the replays on YouTube just because they're easier. If you haven't subscribed over there, make sure you've hit that. We'll drop the link, but it's at Talk to Heidi Medina to make sure. And you'll also get notified of our upcoming live events and be able to watch all the replays. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And we are going to dive into a little bit more. I know I had one more question here.
Okay.
Trying to think, or if you've got a thought to share with us, why I'm just double checking because we got our pain points. We hit our pain points, didn't we? Let's make sure. I always like to double check. We've got what a high intent buyer is and how to speak to them. We have covered the positioning, and we've covered being a painkiller. So, what's something else you'd like to make sure everybody knows?
Well, I want to kind of wrap things back to what was asked from our freelancer in the chat around finding clients, because we moved on from that. So I'd like to bring it back to that. And just, I mean, right now with social media, there's been no other time better for finding clients. And it's just about being able to leverage social media in a way where you can prospect people. Right. And this is something that I've finally been able to learn, even after all these years. I never really understood. I was sitting back and waiting for the people to come to me when that's actually right. So and this is what is being taught. Client attraction. That's only a part of the puzzle.
Yes.
Right. As a salesperson, as a CEO, you are responsible for sales. That's your number one job. So you have to go out there and find the people, right? So on Facebook, you can be looking in other people's audiences, right? So whether it is someone that shares a similar audience to you, could be like maybe it's a big influencer, some of the groups that you're hanging out in, just going in and reserving 30 minutes or an hour to be intentional about finding those people, sending them a simple connection request if you're able to, right? Because with some of the restrictions, we know we're kind of limited. And then once they come into your world, reach out to them, initiate contact, right? In a way that isn't creepy or weird or spammy. I actually just did a workshop on this last week where I walked people through how to leverage Instagram or how to find their people on Instagram and actually prospect them. So, we don't, the term leads and prospects, they're very salesy sounding, but at the same time, I mean, that's the reality of what we're doing is we're prospecting, right? We're mining for gold in the marketplace. And as business owners, that is our number one job, is to find people to buy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm always, because all of my clients, I work on the conversation side, getting people talking to people. And one of the biggest things I'm always reminding my clients is if you're sitting back waiting on people to come to you, your peer over here got your client.
Yeah.
Because while you were waiting, they went out and actually talked to them. And so if you aren't getting out talking to your people these days, especially as noisy as it's getting, you aren't making that first contact, you are leaving so much money on the table.
Yeah. So, and this is the thing, right? I mentioned earlier, around 1% of your audience are seeing your posts, which means you have to be proactive on the back end and really initiate the contact with people. Something. Oh, and premium clients, the ones that are moving and ready to invest, they're looking for that human connection. They don't want all the automation because there's a lot of people like your key competitors are removing themselves from the conversations instead of leaning in and being human.
Yeah. They're using AI. I mean, pretty much everybody in my audience is going to be a knows what my opinions are on this. But those fake AI comments, they're sending the automatic DM comments, and it's like you're not connecting with a real human being. You're really shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
We want to connect with humans. There's places to use AI. You've heard us talking about it. We believe in using it, but not for the conversation, not for the connection point.
Right.
So
So
that's a box I will stand and die on that one.
listen, it wasn't that long ago that I was the other way. I would have stood on your content needs to create buyers, right? That
Yeah.
was my stance. And I was on the client attraction side until I learned differently. It's like, oh, yeah, now I can see this works. And this is the thing, it works much better in the new market,
Hmm.
right? The proactive outreach versus the passive sitting around and waiting for people to come to you.
Yeah, and it's not that because we do need the combination of content,
Hmm.
which does help attract, of course. We do want that. We want our profiles set up right because we do want to attract them in.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we've got to be getting out there and talking to them if we want to get those people, because you see your people, you see your dream clients. And if you're just too shy, too worried about being salesy, somebody else is going to snap them up.
Yeah.
Elaine said, great tips. Thank you. I love Perplexity too. As a behavioral consultant and natural health mentor, I need to show references when I post articles. Yeah. And I just, not only
Hmm.
that, what I love about Perplexity in that aspect, because it always brings in the references of actual case studies and references and stuff like that you can actually look
Yes.
at. And then you get digging in that hole, and it's just like, oh, so much value over here. Chat, I missed that part with Chat GPT because, and I love it too, but
Yeah. Each has its little zone of genius, right?
I use them all. I mean, there's literally three. You guys, everybody knows me by now. Knows I'm a tab whore. At least, I mean, I don't know on this one on you, but I always have everybody. If I share a screen, they're always like, "Heidi, how do you function with that many tabs open?" But I literally have Gemini, Chat GPT, and Perplexity on 3 tabs right now. But
I have multiple tabs on at least 2 windows.
we won't go any further, right?
No.
Last chance for getting your comments in, everybody. And just as a reminder, next week is our monthly Connect and Collab networking event. We do it the last Wednesday of every month. So please do come join us. It's happening on January 29th, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK. You're all invited. It's an hour, 15 minutes that is so worth it. Motivated, kick ass service providers and coaches who love collaborating. So come join us for that. And Lisa, May, while they are, we'll see if there's any last comments. But what is one final thought that you really want to leave everybody with today?
Oh, so many. So many.
I know, I know, and I know. I'm asking for one.
But I think, I mean, really, it is just remembering that you are here to serve a certain person, right? You are here for your people and for a purpose. And to keep that in mind and make that bigger than whatever personal hangups or, money mindset issues or whatever might be going on in the background, right? Make your mission bigger than whatever that other stuff is so that you can get out there and really and serve your people.
Yeah, and that's how do people overcome that hangover? What's the, I know I said one final thing, but how do you, what's your one piece of advice for people just get owning that we are a salesperson? We're not just being pushy and salesy. How do we just get over it, let it go? Because I know that's most people's hang up.
Yeah, and it was something that I really dealt with for a long time. And
Same.
it's like, you know what? You're not going to do everything right.
Yep.
Sales is a skill, so you are going to screw up. You're going to
Yep.
lose a sale. You're going to
maybe piss people off, but the right person, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Because you are going to
Yeah.
fuck it up at times. You are going to make
Mhm.
people block you. Actually, here's one of my advice. People like to laugh when I say this, but I say if you aren't pissing at least off one person a day, then you haven't done your marketing right.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
But I like that. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. That's deep. It's a great way to end us to today. Thank you
Good.
so much for that.
Thank
And
you.
it's such a joy and pleasure to have you here with us today and taking the time and dropping us all your amazing advice. Like I said, you guys, she is on LinkedIn. We're going to try to talk her over a little more, but she's definitely on Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to be dropping the links to connect with Lisa May over there for sure. Maybe you can all help us convince her to come over to the dark side with LinkedIn too. But but do make sure you reach out because you want to be following her on Facebook. Actually, I'm not following. I don't think I'm connected on Instagram, but her Facebook post, every time I read one of them, it kind of just slaps me in the face. It's that real. It's that advice you want to have that is going to help you change how you think about sales and just get better at it. And guys, if you are looking in that aspect, she might be your coach for you as well. So make sure you reach out to her on that. And join us next week, same time, same place. We're going to be having our guest, Miss Beth Ann Campbell, joining us. We are going to be talking about testimonials, not only giving them, but receiving them, and then how you can use them, because you heard us talk about social proof today. This is one tool you definitely want. And Beth Ann is one of the best givers of testimonials I think I have ever seen, which is why I invited her on the show. Lisa, if you aren't connected, you should check out her testimonials. This woman
Yeah,
knows how to
absolutely.
and so thank you so much again for sharing your gold with us. And thank you so much for our audience for your amazing replies, questions, comments. Navin, we used you as an example all the way through. We appreciate that as well. For those of you who could not join us live, drop your biggest takeaway into the comments. If you've got questions, hashtag replay, and we'll pop back by and make sure they get answered. Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone. And
nice. Thank you.
thanks, Lisa. See you guys
Okay.
next week.